Currently, the 6th branch has one major mission, and that is something called Operation Oliver. Now, we've had the map of Baltimore up for several of our guests, and we've taken a look at some of our neighborhoods. You know that Mr. Taylor lives in Canton, and we went down to the Canton Industrial area when we went to the USS Comfort, some of us, and we've talked about several neighborhoods. We've done great research into Harlem Park, which is the current community that you're in. The 6th branch has been focusing on what neighborhood?
The neighborhood of Oliver, which is right here along North Broadway Street, just north of Johns Hopkins Medical Campus.
Okay, today is a special day in Johns Hopkins Medical Campus. Today is actually Today's actually the unveiling. I think they're having the mayor down there. I know that Council President Jack Young will be attending as well, and Councilman Mosby, which we're all familiar with, will be down there. So today is the ribbon cutting ceremony on Hopkins. Is everything pretty much going the same way in Oliver, where there's ribbon cuttings for the millions of dollars that are being invested into that community?
Not for the millions of dollars, but there was recently a ribbon cutting for a new home that was sold by one of our partners. To get to the point of your question, no, there's not millions of dollars being poured into Oliver currently. Oliver is one of those neighborhoods that you think of as being typical of Northeast Baltimore or Northwest Baltimore, characterized by abandonment, vacant homes, you know, those boarded up homes. Yeah.
What are you clapping for, Masha?
Vacant houses.
Vacant houses?
To fix them or to fix them up?
Yes.
That's right. I think we all support fixing up and beautifying Baltimore, right?
Sure.
All right, so specifically, Operation Oliver is working on turning around?
Yeah, it's a neighborhood, it's a grassroots neighborhood revitalization initiative. Our part, the 6th branch's part, is just creating a neighborhood where people want to live in again. So, taking all the garbage out of the neighborhood, we've removed upwards of 70 tons of garbage out of the neighborhood since we started in October. Painting these murals that you see on your worksheet that the group is standing in front of. We believe that in order to revitalize the neighborhood, you have to move people back to that neighborhood, and you can't do that without making it a place where they want to live. So, beautifying, getting rid of the garbage, and it's all in the name of selling homes in the area and bringing people back.
And part of that revitalization is addressing crime.
Sure.
Can you tell us a little bit about crime prevention strategies that have been implemented in the Oliver community?
Sure. First of all, it's important to note, given that we're a veterans group and we all come from military backgrounds, the natural assumption is that we're, when you talk about countering the drug trade, that we're doing that in an aggressive manner, rappelling from the rooftops and stuff like that. Really what we do is just engage our neighbors. Our presence serves to deter the drug trade out in the neighborhood whenever we're about, so we try to be out as much as possible. And just meeting our neighbors, trying to create a sense of community, so that our neighbors can hopefully do their part. We're trying to revitalize the neighborhood from within. So I live there now. A good friend of mine has lived there for about a year and a half. So we're revitalizing from within. We're creating community, not coming in from the outside and doing it for people. We're doing it for us because we want to live also in a community that has that sense of community in every sense of the word.
Yeah, I think that's an important part when you have a partner that they're working on some kind of project in a community. We've talked about this in several different ways. the single greatest way to effectively change something you think that is wrong or something that is wrong is to work with other people that are truly invested. And when you talk about Mr. Landymore here, who's very passionate about changing things in his community of Oliver, that's because it's not his community that he drives into and leaves at 3:30 in the afternoon and drives up to York, Pennsylvania. He's living on the ground, caring about his community, working with his community, 24 hours a day. When you have that level of investment, it's important. And remember, you're living in Harlem Park or Cherry Hill or Brooklyn or shout out anybody. Park Heights.
I knew that was coming.
There we go.
Murphy Holmes, Cologne.
Druid. There we go. So you've got a real advantage, and we talked about this a little bit. How old do you have to be, Marquise, to run for city council in Baltimore City?
18 years old.
18 years old. 18 years old. You are invested in your community. Most of you have lived probably in your neighborhood your whole entire life. You've got an opportunity after you get out of college to immediately go into city council. You've got an opportunity for those that are younger to run for city council while you're attending college. Stay in your community, be passionate about your community. You are the only person that can make your community better. Earlier I had a student say, these issues are too big. I can't wrap my mind around it. I can't imagine taking on this kind of burden. But if everybody in your community has that same mind frame, nothing will get done. I will make something a little better. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put one new line, one new paragraph on my resume. That's what I'm going to do. And if every single person around you just adds that one little thing, before you know it, you've moved a mountain. So
All you have to do is just take a minute and think about what you're passionate about, and then go find people who are passionate about the same thing, and all of a sudden you have a movement, and you can make a lot of change with very little resources. Is everybody going to Youth in Action on the 28th? It's being hosted at here at Augusta Fells.
Is it?
I'm not aware of this.
Are you guys not aware of Baltimore Youth in Action? Baltimore Youth in Action is a program that's culminating on April 28th in the evening. It highlights the work of some youth across the country and how they have taken their future in their own hands and begun creating change as high school students. They recognize that they do have the power to create change, even at a young age. I encourage everybody to attend, to look it up. I wish I had more information about it, but I believe it's being held here at Augusta Fells.
It is. It is. It will be in our library. April 28th.
Nobody goes.
Well, I would actually expect everybody in this room to be there.
What day is it on?
It's a Saturday.
Saturday? Okay.
That's you don't even work in the mornings.
I work.
It is possible for change to occur on the weekends too.
You don't work in the mornings. Yeah.
All right. So remember, we had the guest speaker yesterday. If you're early, you're on time. If you're on time, you're late. And if you're late, you might as well. You were never there. You were never there. Okay. And remember, hard work is what it's going to take for you to, number one, persevere. This world is, I'm sure most of you agree because you've probably seen some of it, this is not an easy world. Things are not handed out to people. There is no such thing as a free lunch. Eventually the bill comes. Yeah, and you're or you're going to be in the back doing dishes, right? We have to understand that you are in one of the most important points in your life where your success today will decide tomorrow. Today always decides tomorrow. You don't just get to have a dream and then hope for it. But you can hope in one hand and cry in the other. And and see which one you feel something in. You need to be focused today on your future. Now, there's going to be a Youth in Action meeting on Saturday. I would expect you to go if you're somebody that is interested in making your life better. I'm pretty sure. And what have we talked about? What's Kayla's conversation about? Working with other people. What do we call that? Meeting people in the community. Networking. Do you think there'd be a fair amount of networking opportunities at a Youth in Action event?
Yeah.
Yes.
Does anybody want a scholarship to go to college?